Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohammed Sharif, and I'm going to make a presentation about the introduction to our logic. Can logic improve moral decision making? Study among ungraduated students. In this introduction, I will cover the background, the problem, our objective, and why this study is important. We're going to move to slide two about background. Moral choices are a part of our daily lives, but many times they are influenced by emotions or cultural norms. Rather than careful thinking, philosophers like Aristotle highlight that reason and logical reflection are key to acting ethically. And to move into slide three, problem statement. Even though students are more educated today, many still struggle with making ethical choices. Ethical choices often decisions are made quickly based on emotions, not logical thinking. They are very little research on whether study logical really helps improving consistency and in moral decision. That's why we carried out this study. Move to objective. We had three main objectives. First, to analyze how much students know about logical reasoning. Second, to see how often they use logical when facing moral issues. To move into slide five, significant. This study is important for three groups. First, for students, it raises awareness of how logical affects their moral choices. Second, for teacher, it provides insight on the value of teaching logical together with ethics. And last, for society, it's help encourage generations that can think correctly and act more consistent. Last slide about summary and next step. To sum up, emotion do affect decision, but logic has a power to make them clear, fair, and more consistent. With that, I will now hand over to my teammate who will explain our research methodology next.
This study adopted a mixed method research design combining both qualitative and a quantitative method. The rationale was the logical reasoning and decision making involved not only measurable knowledge and a confidence level but also a personal level and reflections. By using both methods, the research could capture statistically trends while also gathering a deeper insights. The data was collected using an online survey created by Google Form. The survey link was distributed via academic email and WhatsApp groups. Students were given 1 week to respond. To encourage honesty, the survey is completely anonymous. The survey instrument itself had three sections. Demographic section capturing basic background details, quantitative items like multiple choices questions measuring students' knowledge of logical concepts and their confidence in using logic for moral decisions. Qualitative items were open-ended questions where students describe a situation in which they use logic in moral decisions and how they reflected on whether emotion or logic played a bigger role and discussed the challenge they faced. Well, overall, this methodology provided both numerical evidence and a real life narratives, allowing the study to triangulate finding and reach more reliable conclusion about the role of logic in moral reasoning.
So now let's go to the findings and analysis for undergraduate student survey. So, a logical reasoning skills. So 70% of our students confident in identifying fallacies, and the highly 80% of them, the most of them said, uh, confident in drawing correct conclusions, and only 65% use a conditional if or then reasoning. So the students show a strong logical skills gained from academic training, but however they do not always apply these skills in real life dilemmas where emotions interfere. And now we have the frequency of moral dilemmas. So first we have like 25% of the students use it weekly, and 45% of them use it monthly, and 30% of the student using it occasionally. This mean from time to another, not always, but they use it like from time to another. So the dilemmas are frequent and diverse, spanning academic and social and family life. Many involve emotions and relationships, making strict logic harder to apply.
Common dilemmas. Students reported four key ethical struggles: academic cheating, peer conflicts, honesty at work, and family duty versus personal dreams. Logic is highly valued. 83% said it reduces uncertainty, and 78% believe it creates fairness. But there's still a catch. 60% still admit they rely more on emotions when it comes down to it. In practice, emotions like fear, empathy, and loyalty are powerful drivers. As the data shows, students know logic is good, but in personal matters, emotions often win. To summarize, dilemmas are real and personal. Logic is the desired framework for a fair decision, but emotion is often the final deciding factor. It's a constant balance between the head and the heart. For internal analysis, in understanding your company, we have to have three essential steps. First, assess our resources. Evaluate what assets, skills, and capabilities we currently have. Second, identify our competitive advantages, those unique strengths that set us apart from our competitors. Third, acknowledge our limitations and areas needing improvement. This honest, comprehensive evaluation becomes the foundation for all our strategic decisions moving forward. Now, when making these strate- just now when making these strategic decisions, here's something important. Logic and emotions aren't opposites. They actually work together effectively. Logic provides the structure, giving us frameworks and systematic approaches. Emotions bring in our values and empathy, the human elements that matters. As one example shows, I weigh choices logically, but care for others shaped my final decision. The most effective decisions combine both elements. So what's the bottom line? Logic leads to clearer, fairer, and more consistent decisions. It builds our confidence when we're making difficult dilemmas. However, in real life situations, emotion often dominates our thinking. That is precisely that's precisely why the best ethical decisions require a careful balance of both reason and empathy. Thank you.